Do you know what's good about knowing about this? One is you can break this pattern the minute you know about it. And two is, can you take pleasurable experiences and make them even more pleasurable by putting the right label on them? See, people who get around me pick up my language patterns. And one of my language patterns, most of you know, is like, for example, passion. Does it feel different to be passionate about something than it is to feel pretty good about it? Instantaneously, it's going to magnify your positive emotion. If you talk about something being exceptional, being outrageous, I feel passionate about this, those feelings are going to intensify the pleasure through the roof. But most people don't consciously select their language. So you know what they do? Most people have really intense words on the negative side and very wimpy words on the positive side, and they wonder why they have a lot more pain than pleasure in their life. It's the words you're habitually using that are shaping you. They're shaping everything, your beliefs, the way you think, and what you do. They're the building blocks of human experience. If John F. Kennedy can use words in a way that moves you, or Martin Luther King, or Winston Churchill, you can certainly use words to move yourself. And you can move yourself to tears and pain, or you can move yourself to joy and nobility. You'll determine what habits of language are you going to use. The average person's vocabulary, I started thinking, okay, I want to know more about this stuff. And that's when I found out we have 3,000 words for emotion. The average human being or English person's vocabulary, out of the 500,000 words, how many words do you think the average person uses, including its and thus? What'd you guess? I've gotten about 2,000 as the consistent feedback I've gotten from linguists. 2,000, that includes thus, ands, us, all that stuff. 2,000 words total. Out of 500,000. You want a richer experience of life? Remember this, your experience of life is governed by the way you use your what? Your what first? Physiology, and by the way you represent things to yourself. Remember, the way you focus, the way you represent things. If you represent things in your head with only a few words, you only got a few life experiences. Expand your vocabulary, expand your life. Enrich your vocabulary, enrich your life. See, if you want to get an idea and perspective, the Bible has 12,000 different words in it. 12,000. Milton's writing had, if I remember correctly, 25,000. Shakespeare carried, if I remember correctly, 35,000 different words in his works. In fact, he created lots of different words in our language. Lots of them. By the way, that's why his words have lasted through the ages. He figured out how to use words in such a rich way to shape human emotion and experience. He had a large palette to paint from. We need to expand our palette. And the number one place we need to expand it as a very minimum is when we're describing how we feel. We've got to be more articulate about how we feel and not so general in how we feel. That will expand our experience of life. So remember, whatever label you put on an experience becomes the experience. So how do you change this? Sometimes people raise their hand and they go, I'm feeling humiliated. And I'll say, well, are you feeling humiliated or are you feeling hurt? I'm angry. Are you angry or are you a little frustrated? You know what that does? It interrupts the what? Because for them to answer my question, they have to go inside their head and they have to picture what I talk about. At the very minimum, even though they say, no, I'm angry, still it broke their pattern for a moment. And just by offering that one word selection, you can see somebody go, well, I'm a little bit upset. And you can see their whole physiology change the minute they select the new word. How many have seen this happen around you? Great. Then let's do this. Sit up in your chair with some energy. And here's what I want you to do. Write down 3 words that you use habitually to describe negative emotions you feel. Okay? And come up with 3 alternatives. 3 words you use on a regular basis to describe how you feel, and come up with 3 alternative words that will either lessen the intensity or totally break the pattern. Let me give you a clue. If you come up with a word that's fun to say, you'll use it instead of the old one because you like pleasure. If you come up with something that'll break your pattern, it's fun, that's great. But at the very minimum, make sure it'll lessen the intensity. Write down 3 words you use habitually to create negative emotions. Write down 3 alternatives. Go for it.